This is a pretty awesome venue. Hopefully, you guys. This is day 2, close to 5 p.m. So hopefully, this is some interesting content for the end here. What I'll be talking about, I'm not sure if you guys have heard of HashKey or HashKey Global. We've been a bit low key, but one of the things that we've been trying to do is over the last 6 years, I was part of the founding team. Over the past 6 years, what HashKey has been trying to do is create a global regulated licensed group of exchanges, OTC brokerages, asset management, venture capital. And this speech is going to be focused a little bit more on exchanges, what we've been doing with the centralized exchanges, and also something that we think a lot about. I think one of the things that we think a lot about as a company is in the next era of the bull market, potentially up to 2025, and then the next bull market afterwards, what we think a lot about is how do all of us in this industry, either you're a retail trader or institutional trader, how do we become smarter traders? And one of the things that we've been trying to do is in putting a centralized exchange that's been growing, we offer spot, we offer derivatives. One of the things we've been doing is getting licenses in all these different jurisdictions, in Japan, in Singapore, in Hong Kong, and also recently in Bermuda, specifically so that we can create a trading platform that can help traders be smarter with where their assets are stored. I'll talk a little bit more about that. One of the things that we're trying to do over the next 5 years is kind of methodically go and get licenses and be regulated in various different countries all over the world. So we're already licensed in Hong Kong. We have submitted a license here in Dubai under VARA. We are also working on licensing in Europe, and we have a current license in Bermuda. The Bermuda license is actually quite interesting because we were the second company after Coinbase to get licensed to trade perpetual futures out of a licensed trading platform. I'm not sure how many of you in here have traded perpetual futures, but one of the things you'll notice is actually out of all the platforms in the world leaders in perpetual trading, perpetual futures trading, the majority of that trading is actually happening on platforms that actually aren't licensed to provide that trading. Where HashKey Global, when we provide perpetual futures trading, actually there's a lot bigger differences around asset security and how we protect your assets and how we don't commingle client assets with company assets, how things are insured. And I'll go through some of that kind of a little bit step by step here. This is kind of, obviously this is what exchange apps look like. But some of the things that have been really exciting to us in 2024, which you don't really hear too much about, is HashKey Global is actually the fastest growing regulated exchange globally this year. We've already been climbing the ranks of CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. You can see that. I'll skip around a little bit here. If you skip down here, skip down here a little bit. I mean, one of the things that we've been focused on, obviously, as a trading platform is, as a regulated licensed trading platform, as a user coming to sign up, you don't want to have to spend a lot of time to, go through KYC and all these different things. So one of the things that we've done is, in addition to having these licenses, providing these protections for users, making sure that the whole process to actually onboard is very streamlined. Just go back. So in terms of volume, I mean, a lot of people come to us and say, okay, it's a regulated licensed trading platform. It seems like compliant exchanges don't make money. I can't trade what I want there. Nobody's actually using these things. But actually, that's incorrect. This year, with the performance that we've seen, there's actually been a huge amount. We've been very surprised and happy with the amount of spot trading in this first year of growth. I mean, we just launched the spot trading under HashKey Global in April of this year. Futures trading was actually launched in May or so, and we've already seen a lot of explosive growth. One of the things traditionally for some compliant and regulated exchanges, it's hard for them to list a number of different assets, list a number of different futures. We've already been listing up to 60 different assets. We're going to continue to list more and more perpetual spot futures, perpetual futures and spot. One of the things, just on this slide for a moment, if you think about it, like 70 to 80% of the world's perpetual futures trading is still happening on exchanges where, as a user, you don't have the same protections that you would have in trading on a platform like HashKey Global. So specifically, I'll give you a very specific example. If you as a user wanted to come in and trade BTC to USDT perpetual futures, and you put let's say a million in USDT in deposit in our exchange versus putting that in another exchange that's not licensed, not regulated under the same protections, the less protections that you have in your assets are things like, if you're on the majority of the world's exchanges outside of Coinbase, outside of Kraken, your assets, once they're in that platform, they're not necessarily going to be separated from the assets of the exchange. I mean, that's everything that you saw around FTX. One of the key reasons of huge loss there was just a lack of protection of customer assets. Whereas if you're already trading, if you have put your money and assets on a platform like HashKey Global, licensed, regulated company that allows you to trade perpetual futures, your assets are actually separated from our company's assets. We're not using them. We're not lending them out to third parties. We have insurance on those assets. We only keep a very minimum amount of all of our assets in our hot wallet to minimize risk. So there's a lot of less risk that you get on trading on a platform like HashKey Global. Just going back here for a second. One of the coolest things that you've done, I think a really important point to make here is one of the things we think a lot about is if you want to deliver a compliant, regulated, safe trading platform for users, in the past, historically, it's been very difficult to trade a lot of the products and services that you want, that you get on like a Binance, an OKX, a Bybit, et cetera, on the regulated licensed trading platforms. So HashKey Global has been doing a lot to trade things like perpetual futures, to offer campaigns like Launchpools where users can get the types of products and services that they're used to getting and trading, but yet have the security and safety of knowing that, okay, my assets are actually on a platform where they have a license. The regulator is going to be looking and monitoring to make sure those assets are protected. And to us, in a post-FTX world, we think that's super important. Even like over the last year or so, with how much growth all of us have seen in meme coin trading and a lot of cool things that are all over the ecosystem, there's a huge amount of market risk and volatility in all the assets that we're trading. And traders should get the opportunity to expose themselves to market risk, right? If you want to speculate, if you want to take a bet, you should be able to take a bet on the products that you want. But why should you still be exposing yourself to the risk of your trading platform? And I think one of the things we also think a lot about is, I'm not sure how many of you go out and trade on DeFi that much, but a lot of the really smart DeFi traders, before they put their assets in a smart contract, they'll run through 20, 30 different checks on a smart contract just to ensure that it's safe before you go in there and deposit your assets and trade. And that's what a smart trader does. But the question is for people trading on centralized exchanges, why don't we have that same level of sophistication to assess the risk of the centralized exchanges that we're using? I feel like there's a lot of smart DeFi traders out there, but we can get a lot smarter on the centralized exchange traders. And this is just a little bit more specifics of when we say asset safety. This is just breaking it down. It's a little bit detailed, but you have a lot of work that's gone into the custody system. You have a lot of work that's going into making sure that any assets that are online in a hot wallet are minimized as best as possible to prevent to reduce hacking risk. And then also you have insurance. You have to buy insurance on these assets. So in the case where there is unfortunately some type of event, you can cover those for customers. And that's what it means to be safe. Good picture. No, just joking. And just a few other things in the TON ecosystem. I mean, we've HashKey as a company, we've been big supporters of everything that TON has been doing. Earlier this year, this was a very successful airdrop that we did together with Catizen. If you had known about HashKey Global back then, this was an opportunity you could have gotten. You could have gotten in. There's a pretty big airdrop around it. So I think hopefully through all of you guys in this room, one big takeaway that you get from this presentation is look at HashKey Global, global.hashkey.com. Get involved, kind of see what's going on. There's a number of different campaigns that we're running, incentives around market making. There's a lot of different products and services that we're offering. And feel what it's like to trade on a regulated, compliant exchange that's actually protecting you. And think a little bit about how you can become a better, smarter trader. So with that, I'll end here. Yeah, thanks. It was a pleasure to share a little bit about what we're doing here. And yeah, feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. Thanks.